Hey guys, what's up? My name is Devin, the DIY Lawn Coach. Hope you're having a great day today. So thank you so much for checking out the video today. I want to spend some time just kind of talking about watering your lawn. So I have a cool season lawn, and here in Western North Carolina, it gets crazy hot in June, July, and August. And so I want you guys to be prepared and be thinking about your watering strategy. We're going to talk about some of the equipment that I use to water my lawn, and I want you guys to be prepared so that when it does turn hot, you are ready to rock and roll. So I do have a little bit of a situation going on in the lawn that I want to bring you guys with me, bring you in a little bit closer and show you what that is. And then, I'll show you what we're going to do about it. And then we're going to talk about how much water and all that good stuff. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video. Give the video a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I like to put out videos quite frequently about all kinds of different topics related to cool season lawns. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So really quickly, before we kind of get going here, this is my front lawn. It's 10,000 square feet, and as I said, it's turf type tall fescue, and the lawn is just looking great. We've been really hitting it hard with fertilizer, but I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but I can kind of see. I don't know if you guys can see that coming right through here. Right now the sun is at my back, so it makes it really hard to see. But we're going to walk down here to the end of my driveway, and we're going to look back towards the sun. We're going to show you guys what we've got going on and kind of why I wanted to get this video out there for you guys. And as I pan back up here towards the house, you see the dark line up here. So what I have going on is I have some drainage from my house that runs all the way out here to the road and ends right here. So underneath about a foot of soil is some gravel. And so what's happening is the roots are pretty weak right through here. And so the lawn is this is the first spot that always checks out in my lawn when it starts getting hot. So you can kind of see it all the way up through here. So I'm going to show you guys what I do to try to manage this, to try to keep this looking great. So bring you guys in here a little bit closer. So you can see the grass blades they shrivel up. They get really tiny. So let's walk out here to where the grass is a little bit healthier. And I want you to look at the blades. You look at how fat and thick and wide they are. You can kind of see that one curling up a little bit. It's been roughly 4 or 5 days since we've had any water. The grass has been, the air temperature has been about 85, almost 90 now, which is really warm. And so you can see, you can really see that. See how that grass blade is curling up? That tells me that this lawn is thirsty. And so then when we come back over here to this section, and you can see how it's starting to dry out. This is, this is almost the middle stages of drought stress. This is not heat stress, this is drought stress. This is the grass just telling you that it's thirsty. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit closer. I'm gonna show you how I water the grass, how much water we need, and all that good stuff. All right, guys, so the most important thing when it comes to watering your lawn, especially for cool season lawns, is to understand how much water your grass requires every week to stay healthy and vibrant and growing and that sort of thing. And so for turf type tall fescue and perennial ryegrass, Kentucky bluegrass, those are all of the cool season variety. Your lawn is going to need at least 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water per week. So whether that comes in the form of rainfall or through your irrigation system or from a sprinkler or hand watering, it doesn't really matter. Your grass really likes the rainfall better, but sometimes we have to drag out a hose. So I bought a little $5, $6 rain gauge at the hardware store, and I just stick this down in the ground. And then after a rain event, go out, you look at it and it says, oh, well, I got a 1/2 inch of rain last night. So I know if I'm watering 1 inch per week, I just have to make up that 1/2 inch at some point during the week. So when it does come to watering, one of the worst things that you could do for your lawn is to water every day or water, shallow. So imagine, where the roots are. We say we want to water deep and infrequent. So we want to get the water way down deep below, where the roots are, because the water is less likely to evaporate when it's down, down that low. And then we don't want to water frequently, because that just invites fungus. And then the top layer of your soil, water will evaporate. So if you water every day, that water is just sitting on the top of your soil, it evaporates, and you're really just wasting water at that point. So I encourage you to make sure you're watering deep and infrequent. Get yourself a rain gauge so that you know how much water you're getting from Mother Nature, so that you can then supplement that with your irrigation system or your sprinkler. So I have a couple different options as far as measuring the amount of water, and we're going to do this tonight. I'm going to water my grass in the morning. So I'm going to go throughout the lawn, and I used to use these tuna cans, which are great. They work great. I made a little marking inside the tuna can to 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And so I set these out in my lawn. I'll run my irrigation system until it gets to a 1/2 inch of water. That's what I used to use. I went out on Amazon. I'm going to put a link to these as well. These are a little bit nicer. I can better judge the amount of water there. So I'm going to put these out tonight and show you guys in the morning as a follow-up how long it actually took my irrigation system to put out a 1/2 inch of water. So we'll do that later. All right, so let's kind of talk about sprinklers for just a minute. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to sprinklers. There's the ones that spray up in the air. There's the impact sprinklers, the one that goes tick, 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 and then can go back. And those are all fantastic. So if you've got one that you like, please continue to use it. What I typically use, or what I liked to use when I was watering my lawn, is these in-ground, what they call pop-up sprinklers. And you can find these at Lowe's, Home Depot. This one is made by Orbit, and these are designed to be buried in the ground, and then they pop up out of the ground. But what I like about them is that the customization, the way that I can get this thing to go around. And I'll show you guys here in just a second how we do that. So I've got this hooked up to a little spike that I bought on Amazon, and then I've got a little quick connect here, and you just screw this in, you stick this in the ground, and then you hook your hose up to it. And it works fantastic. So what I did with that is I bought some of these Orbit timers. When you water your grass, you want to make sure you're watering between 4 and 7 a.m. So that it gives the time for the water to really soak into the ground before the sun comes up and evaporates all the water. Again, why we want to be watering deep and infrequent. We want to get that water down into the soil, protect it away from the sun so that it doesn't evaporate. So I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer and kind of show you how this system works. It basically goes back and forth. So it starts all the way to the right hand side, and then it'll go all the way. You can see the arrow. It's basically telling you which way the water is pointing. And then it'll come all the way, and it'll stop, and then it clicks, and it goes all the way back to the right. And then it stops, and it goes all the way back. So it just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. And it comes with a key that you can use. This is called a key, and so this is the tool that you stick down in this hole, and that can either adjust the fan of the spray, or I can adjust how far to the left this thing sprays. So when we stick it in the ground, I'm going to line that arrow up with my driveway so that it just barely hits the driveway and then shoots out into the lawn. And then I've got some rocks right over here to the left, so then we'll just barely touch the rocks, and then this thing will stop, and we'll adjust it, and it'll come all the way back. So let me show you guys how that works. So we're going to line this thing up. We're just going to stick it down here in the ground, just like that. And then right now it's going all the way that way. So I'm going to adjust this to where it just barely kind of hits those rocks. And then I've got a quick connect on here. So then all we have to do is plug that in. It pops up out of the ground. And that's it. So right now it's throwing roughly 20 feet, 25 feet out into the lawn. If, say I had an obstacle or something that I didn't want it to hit, there's a little set screw in here that we could adjust the throw distance. So we can fan that out a little bit. See how it kind of breaks up the fan just like that. Make sure we're getting good coverage. So I really like these sprinklers. They work really well. They have a really good fan pattern and they water really efficiently, and it's just what I prefer to use. So, and what's really nice about them is you can leave them in the ground as you're mowing, and then every time you move your sprinkler, you don't have to try to figure out what the best pattern is for these. You could literally just take it, unhook it, go to your next one, and hook it up and run your system. So, and then in order to make sure that you're getting an inch of water, you would take, or sorry, half inch of water. You can either take your tuna can, or you can take your little rain gauge and you come out here into the lawn about halfway through the stream. You just set this right here, and then you run your irrigation until it gets to the half inch mark. You know, so you set your timer. So say it takes 15 minutes to get a half inch of water into that cup, and you know for that particular area that you have your half inch of water. So it's really that simple. What we're gonna do today with some of those hot spots is we're gonna use hydratane, and I like to use RGS because anytime you know, we got anything going on with the roots, I always like to throw RGS. It's just really good for the soil. So we're gonna take 3 ounces of our RGS and we're gonna put it in our little sprayer here. We're gonna hook it up, we're gonna spray it out. The label on the hydratane says 9 ounces per 1,000, and that'll cover us for up to 3 months. So that's what we're gonna do. So hydratane is a fantastic product, and the way it works is once you apply it to your lawn, you water it in, and these crystals, they sit at the root of your grass, and they just basically pull moisture out of the air and bring it to the root zone. So it basically, you know, they say that you have 50% less watering. I don't know if it's quite 50, but I will tell you that it absolutely works. So of course you still have to water, but this will help you reduce the amount of watering that you need to do. Again, you probably still need to be at least 1 inch per week, but this will help as, you know, pull the humidity out of the air. So got our hydratane down, you have to make sure you water it in. So you don't want to leave this, you know, you don't want to leave hydratane on the leaves of the grass. You've got to get it down inside the roots and inside the root zone. So now we're going to go back and we're just going to water this in. Incredibly windy here, so something else to think about. You know, just the wind blowing across your grass will also dry it out. So it's not just the bright sunny weather, which it's that too, but you know, just be mindful that even windy conditions can dry out your lawn too. All right guys, so the last thing I need to do is go out and put out these out into the lawn. These are just, you know, the little measuring cups to be able to measure how much irrigation. Again, you can use a tuna can if you'd like. So I've got 10 of these. I'm gonna walk out into the lawn. So I have, my irrigation system is set up. I have 4 zones in the front yard. I'm gonna put roughly 2 or 3 of these within each zone, kind of out in the middle. And then I'm gonna set my irrigation timer to run 30 minutes per zone, and then it'll start over. So in between the 2 zones, that kind of gives me, in between the 2 cycles, 30-minute cycles, it gives me time to let the water soak in, and then it'll run for another 30 minutes. So that'll be a total of 1 hour per zone. And then we'll come back in the morning and update you guys on how much water we actually put out. Because again, the goal here is we want to get 1 inch of water per week. And so I break that into 2 different cycles. So maybe water on Monday for a ½ inch, and then water again on Friday, another ½ inch, and So that's what we're going to do. So I'll bring you guys back in the morning and we'll update you. We'll walk out and see how full these cups got and make sure that, you know, my system is set up properly so that if I run each zone for 1 hour, I'm getting a half inch of water each time. So we'll check you guys in the morning. So the irrigation system just got done running, and just a reminder, you know, I put these out yesterday, kind of out in the middle of the lawn, you know, halfway in between, you know, in the zone area. So we're going to walk out here and we're going to check on some of these cups and see how full they are. Let's come to our first one here, and we are right at half an inch, so that's perfect. We'll walk out here to another one, and let's look at this one. Right at half an inch. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yep, right at half an inch. So that's great. So to run my irrigation each zone for 1 hour, I get half an inch of water. Again, just a reminder, we want to get, you know, 2 waterings per week, no more than 2, a half inch of water each time. You know, want to break that up. Make sure you're watering deep and infrequent. You know, limits the amount of opportunity for fungus. Get that water way down deep. Let the tall grass, this one's just over half an inch, but this is kind of a little bit smaller of a zone, so that kind of makes sense. And then I know this one over here is going to be a little bit lower, just because the amount of heads. This is going to be under half an inch probably. Yeah, so that one's just slightly under half an inch. So, but that's okay. That's just, I just know, you got to kind of know your land a little bit. Understand that, you know, some parts of your lawn, you know, this is, you know, this part of my lawn is full sun. So I know that it needs a little bit more water. And so we just keep an eye on it throughout the year. And, you know, when you start to see that your lawn gets thirsty, give it some water, because you can actually overwater your lawn. So, hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for checking it out today. You guys have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below. Love to chat with you down there. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll continue to provide you guys with updates. So, my name's Devin, the DIY Lawn Coach. You guys have a great day, and I can't wait to see you in the lawn.